The biggest gaming release, not just sports gaming, but all of gaming in the past 10 years. College Football 25, EA just dropped the first ever kind of reveal trailer for it, or as official teaser trailer. It's the full reveals in May, and it'll probably be coming out in late June to potentially sometime in July, hopefully early July, but we'll have to wait and see. The full reveal again is in May. Now, there's a few things I want to talk about here. First and foremost, I don't know if anyone else saw this, but the name of the account now is EA Sports College. It used to be EA Sports College Football or CFB, whatever it was. Now it's just college. So, question: potentially basketball in the future? I don't know. It used to be a basketball game, so maybe they come back out with it. Just interesting they changed their name. There's a lot of things that EA can do, needs to do, and what they really, 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 really cannot do. And look, there's this like trend in all of gaming across the board ever since these live service updates kind of came out where the gaming companies can release on the fly patches, which sounds really good in theory, but what the on the fly patches and stuff like that leads to, and the updates, what it leads to is that they don't have to release finished games and they don't have to release finished products. So what that means is that they'll find bugs and they'll say something along the lines of, "Oh, you know what? We'll actually just fix that come the first patch or so." It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Look, we can get away with that for Madden sometimes. We can get away with that with the Skate Racer 2400. Okay, this is the influx of people who have not played a football video game either ever or in a few years because they're just tired of Madden because Madden has such a negative stigma around it. Unfortunately, is insane, and so we can't release an unfinished product, dude. Whatever that might be. Really, what I'm afraid of is some sort of game-breaking glitch being in the game day one. They we can't have it. Now, what I mean by game-breaking glitch is a good example. Very recently, this is on the edge of being game-breaking glitch, but I think it is really bad because it really like hinders your fun ability in the game. Is that we cannot have something like the fatigue glitch. That was everybody in the field would just get fatigued. It was terrible. It was stupid. It made the game very unfun. But even worse than that, 2 years ago, I believe it was two, maybe it was one, I don't know. Eric Dickerson, we had flashing Dickerson where he would just flash, like literally like on the screen. I don't know how many people remember that. It was like 2 weeks though of just Dickerson flashing on the screen. Holy crap, we cannot like that makes the game unplayable for people, for everybody. Like it sucks. We can't have game breaking glitches. Now there's some glitches. There's gonna be bugs in the game. It's a video game. There's always gonna be bugs. And to give an example of like a really fine bug that was just funny, that was some people got really upset about it, but I really didn't care. Was a couple years ago there was this bug where when you'd load into an online head-to-head game, sometimes during the presentation at the 50-yard line, there'd be like a Ford F-150 or a Jeep Wrangler just hanging out the 50-yard line, only for the presentation. And I'm like, I don't know what. That's hilarious. Okay, it happened every once in a while. It's whatever. It didn't hurt anybody's ability to play the game. But these bugs that like literally make it to where playing the game is just unfun for whatever reason. Oh my goodness, we can't have them, dude. We just cannot have them. Now, don't think in your head for a moment that EA won't go hard with the microtransactions. They've been limited to Ultimate Team the past, ever whatever. But I would not be shocked if they add microtransactions into Dynasty. And is that sounds like a super bad thing? And I'm not here to like trying to defend EA, but the only thing that can add, like the only way that could be good potentially, is if they add microtransactions to Dynasty. Potentially, maybe they add more focus to creating a very good and immersive Dynasty game mode. Just throwing something out there, hopefully, because that's why they don't put much attention to franchise, because they don't make any money from franchise. You know what I mean? People just buy the game once you have it. They don't spend any more money, so they don't care. So obviously, the easy answer is, well, they should just do it out of the goodness of their hearts, and because they're not going to, right? Let's face reality. They're not going. They're probably not going to. So hopefully, that I just want a good dynasty mode. I think a really good immersive dynasty mode would be awesome. I think the only way that happens is if they have microtransactions in there. Again, this isn't me saying I hope they have microtransactions in Dynasty. I just think the only way that they make a really good Dynasty for years to come is if they have microtransactions in there, because that's just how EA's operated ever since Ultimate Team really became a thing, right? Franchise mode has taken a step back. I hope and I pray, dude, that they go hard with the presentation. We've seen some leaks that they've done on Twitter, whether it's from random people or the schools themselves, of what EA has requested from them. Everything from mascots to pictures of stadiums and surrounding areas to fight songs and all that stuff. And dude, it's cool. I can say this. I've been at the University of Texas. I've went to numerous football games and been on their campus a ton. And then I went to school at Western Michigan University up in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And when I had a YouTube channel, or I still have it, of NCAA Football 14, if you type in Civ NCAA on YouTube, you'll see it. That channel, when I would play games both in Waldo Stadium, which is where the Western Michigan plays, and here at the University of Texas, dude, it's cool. It's cool seeing everything. Like, and you can kind of see things that look like, place that you've been, and the entire atmosphere is super cool. Scoring a touchdown at Waldo Stadium at the University of or Western Michigan University, there's cannons that fire afterwards in real life, and they had it in the game. And dude, that's sick. They don't really do a good job of presentation at all throughout Madden. And dude, I really hope they super hone in on that, because I think that's a big thing that turns people on. I mean, it turns me on, and I'm not even a freaking. I'm a gameplay guy, right? That's just what I like and what I care about. So they got to kill it with that, man. They really do. There's high expectations for the game. There are, but it's also it's high expectations because the game is really, the last one is very nostalgic and people loved it. So I mean, of course, there's high expectations. It's just part of the gig for EA, right? Gameplay wise, we have a few things here. I don't think the meta. I don't think a lot of the meta, that if you can pinpoint something that has been good in every Madden for the past few years, right? The past 5 years, or what really past ever since next gen, if you can pinpoint some of those things that have been good every single Madden, those same things are probably gonna be good in NCAA, right? So things like slot corner blitzes, okay? Things like right now, RPO reads and stuff like that, I think are gonna be pretty good in NCAA. But more importantly, things like trips tight end, things like gun bunch, they're probably gonna be pretty good. Now, will they be the overwhelming meta? My prediction is yes. But I also think NCAA is going to have a lot more built-in plays that have like really good auto motion that leads to different RPOs, really good auto motion that leads into pretty good pass plays. If you look at a formation inside of Madden called Stack Y Off, Gun Stack Y Off in the spread playbook, or the pass balance playbook, there's this kind of a set of 3 plays that is a touch pass, that is a fake touch pass QB power, and there's a fake touch pass, okay, drop back pass of some sort. I think we're going to see more things like that, along with RPOs built into some of those motions. And I think there potentially could be some pretty cool stuff, and stuff that probably there'll be 1 or 2 that's going to be pretty good. There's so many teams and so many schools, right? There's like, what, 128 or so? Something like that, where the playbooks are going to be pretty diverse. Just they have to be, especially if it's anything like NCAA 14, where there's going to be so many different formations and plays and motions and stuff like that. There's going to be some broken stuff. Hopefully nothing too game breaking, but definitely potentially something that could be a scheme built around. Unfortunately for us, Coach Paul Johnson, I'm also a little bit of a Georgia Tech fan, or I used to be in high school. Paul Johnson was the guy who was like the guy for running Flexbone, and he is retired. He retired 4 years ago from being a coach. So Georgia Tech, the Flexbone school, no longer runs Flexbone, under center option, essentially. And Army and Navy have both actually moved away from that. I don't know if you guys watched the most recent Army Navy game this year, but neither of them were running as much split back or veer or any kind of like under center triple option as much, which is a little upsetting. I do think they'll have it in the game, but I think something like that is so hard for them to code correctly and just to get right, and they haven't done it. I mean, there's no under center options in Madden right now. Under center mid lines, under center just read options, triple options, whatever. There's none in Madden. And I think without a school, as schools have really started getting away with that, even with the school, the academies are starting to get away with it, or get away from it more now. I think EA unfortunately kind of cuts a corner there and doesn't go super deep into that. In NCAA 14, there's probably 15, 20 different under center split back or 3-back formations, including wishbone, that you can run different options from. I just don't see that happening in NCAA or College Football 25, or at least I don't see it being as deep, just because I don't think they have to. And if they don't have to, I think it's a huge thing where it's a huge task to tackle, unfortunately. And it's just how it is. And they're able to get away with it because, again, Georgia Tech doesn't run Flexbone anymore, and the academies have slowly worked away from it. So it's It's still gonna be there 100%, but I don't think it'll be as in depth as it was in NCAA 14. But if it has 6, 7 formations that are split back or three back, and they include wishbone or some stuff like that, then I mean that's probably enough to have a scheme out of it, and potentially could be really good. I'm really hoping it's gonna be impossible to balance them though. They're either gonna probably suck, or they're either gonna be really, really good. All the under center option stuff. I could see the quarterback getting tackled immediately in half the plays, and I could see the blocks being perfect and there being no way to stop it. It's literally just comes down to however they do it, right? The it really does. I'm excited for it, man. Though I really am. Anybody who, if you're coming at this with the lens of man, it's gonna be Madden reskinned or something like that, man. Like just enjoy. Man, have some fun. You know what I mean? Have some fun, enjoy, be excited for the launch. And if the game sucks, then dang, dude, the game sucks. But I want to go into it glass half full and be like, hey, dude, new football game. Heck yeah, maybe a little bit of competition between the two departments inside of EA. Maybe they both push themselves up. I don't know. That's all for this video. If you guys are new to the channel, though, consider hitting that subscribe button. It's free, and we're trying to hit 20K here. So, with that being said, see you in the next one.